Hi everyone, Emily and Jenna here. The grade that we decided to focus on was kindergarten, and our subject was measurement, specifically height. For our unit plan, we decided to do the different types of measurement, like weight, height, stuff like that. So this one primarily focuses on height. For our standards, we have two of them. The first one is identify and classify objects by observable properties of matter and comparing different kinds of materials and discuss their uses. And then the second one is describe and compare attributes of length, area, weight, and capacity of everyday objects.
So we had two different lesson objectives for this specific lesson. The first one is that students will be able to compare their height to different objects around the room, and then students will be able to apply learned vocabulary to describe and compare the height of different objects around the room and their own height. And then we also included differentiation strategies to meet diverse learner needs. And so the first one we talked about was for students who complete the measurement activity early, will have the opportunity to complete another measurement activity where they will be comparing half of their height to objects around the room. So where this first activity that they're doing is their whole height. So then if they finish early, they will have another opportunity to try it with half their height. And then for students who need extra support with the measurement activity, they will be allowed to work with a partner, and that could be a student or a teacher.
Okay, so then for the engagement piece, to start the center, we would all be at the carpet. The teachers would have like a couple different things, so an eraser, a pencil, a teacher chair, a student chair. And then at our placement, they use like big books, as well as like students have like these like little tiny paper books in their book bins. So that would be a part of like the showing, and like the comparing of heights and stuff like that. So the teacher would ask the students to compare and contrast items. What do you notice? Which one's taller, shorter? How do you know? And then kind of getting them thinking about the actual like using a measuring tape. How do we find out which one is actually taller? And then in that we would talk about the different units of measurement. Um, we would use the meter tape that we used in class. So first off, we would have it already done, completed, colored, and everything, and then bring that out to students, and then tell them about how they're going to be creating their own meter tape, as well as they're going to be exploring the room to find different heights of things compared to themselves. And then the student questions that we want them to have are coming up with their own ideas of things to measure, and then how will they know themselves if it's taller than them, shorter than them, or the same height. So moving on to the exploration, like I said, students would be creating their own meter stick, so cutting it out, coloring it, and then gluing it. Then they would be given their measurement paper, which is this. They would complete this out. So first they would do this is me, so they would color a picture of themselves, and then they would do I'm taller than. So they would go around the room, try and find something that they're taller than, color a picture of it, and then write it down here. Same with the shorter, something that's shorter than them, draw a picture, write it, and then something that's the same height as them. And then we decided to kind of let them do it outside of the classroom as well. So if there's anything in the hallway, at our placement we have classroom aides, so we figured that we would utilize them and let them go out with the classroom aide two at a time. So Emily, you can go.
All right, so then for the explanation and evaluation piece of the lesson, we said that once students have finished your measurement worksheet, they will come back to the carpet where we started the lesson and bring their worksheets with them. And then the students will have an opportunity to share the things that they found, the things that were shorter than, taller than, and the same height as them, so they can share that with their classmates. And then while they're sharing, the teacher will ask a few different questions to get the students to think deeper. For example, how do you know you are shorter than the object? Things like that. And then also the teacher will ask students about the whole process while they're exploring this measurement activity. So for example, did you measure how many centimeters it was? If so, was it more or less? So just questions like that to get the students to think deeper about the activity. And then for elaboration, the teacher will begin by asking the students, why is measuring height so important? There's a few discussion points that we listed. I think it's really important to have discussion points or questions listed in your lesson so that it'll help the lesson flow. So they could talk about, you need to know your height to buy like the right size pants, or so doctors can measure your growth. And then the teacher will also go over different ways to explain taller than, shorter than. So then that's where some vocabulary comes in too, with length versus width, big versus small opposites, stuff like that. Yeah. And then again, at the bottom of the lesson is where we attach the measurement worksheet and the meter tape worksheet that the students will cut out in color.